everyone, it's me, Roxanne, and I'm back today with the Leah sewing machine by Mood Fabrics, and I'm going to show you how to get started. In this segment, I'm going to show you how to thread the machine, how to wind and insert the bobbin properly, and how to use the auto threader. So let's get into it. Let's start by winding your bobbin. Lift the top cover of your sewing machine and place your thread spool onto your spool pin and place a spool cap to hold it in place. Make sure that your spool is coming off your spool pin easily. Start by going under your first thread guide and around the second one, and then one full turn clockwise around the bobbin tensioner. That's this one right in the front. Now with a small length of thread, thread that through the little hole in your bobbin, like that, and place your bobbin on the bobbin winding mechanism, right there. Now push that over to the right to engage it. Now I'm going to hold on to that tail for the very beginning, and right now I'm going to use the start-stop button to wind the bobbin. Right now I have my speed on the front turned all the way up, and the bobbin will stop winding when it's completed. Push the bobbin back to the left and take it off the bobbin winder, and that's a nicely wound bobbin. Now I'm going to show you how to thread the upper portion of the machine. Start off the same way as you did before by placing your spool of thread on your spool pin with your spool cap and pull off your thread. Now before you start to thread your machine, the most important thing to remember is that your presser foot is in the up position. If your presser foot is down, you're not going to be able to thread the machine through the tensioning mechanism in the upper part of the sewing machine. So you always want to make sure that your presser foot is up and that your tension is disengaged so that your thread can pass through the tensioner properly. So start off with this first thread guide, and following the arrow, come around to the second one, head straight down and around the bottom where this arrow is, head straight back up through the take-up lever right here, and then head straight down where the arrow is down here. Now I'm going to show you how to thread your needle. Now before I go ahead and thread the needle, right here there is another thread guide right below this arrow, and then there's another one right above the needle right there. So you'll want to make sure to catch both of those thread guides. Now before you use the needle threader, you will want to make sure that the needle is at its highest position by pressing the needle up and the needle down button. Now I know that my needle is at its highest position and I'm ready to thread. Now this little lever is the auto needle threader. And I want you to notice that there's a little arm that swings forward here, and there's a little fork between them. Now between the fork there is a tiny hook, and that is what's fed through the eye of your needle and ensures that your needle will become threaded. So I want you to take your thread in your right hand and wrap it around that hook right there. Press the mechanism down, and then you will hook between that little fork from the bottom up, and then release the lever. Now don't hold tight with your right hand or it won't thread. And that's how the needle becomes threaded. Now, I don't want you to be discouraged if this doesn't happen for you on your first try. I've used auto needle threaders for years and I'm very familiar with the way they operate. So practice and you will get it, but this is a great feature on this machine. Now here's how to insert the bobbin. There's a little button here, press it to the right, and that'll release your bobbin cover. And I want you to notice something, a couple of things that are really nice. This bobbin cover has seam guide markings right on it, right in the front where you're sewing. A lot of machines have the seam markings back here, but they're not always easy to follow when they're so far back on your needle plate. So this is great that it has all these designations right here, right in the front, right where you can see them as you're sewing. Another thing that's nice is there's a little diagram here and shows you exactly how to load your bobbin. Now you'll want to take your bobbin counterclockwise, drop it in, and follow the arrow. There's an arrow here pointing toward the back, go around, showing another arrow here. You pull it forward, and then you go right around here to stage it, and it tears right off. There's a little cutter right here, and now your bobbin is perfectly set for sewing. Go ahead and place your bobbin cover back into position, and you're all ready. So thanks for stopping by today and watching my first video in my new series on the Leah sewing machine by Mood Fabrics. I hope that you find this information helpful to get you started sewing on this great machine and enjoyed learning a little bit more about a couple of the features that I think make this a really great machine. So I plan to move on in my series and teach more about different presser feet, different sewing operations, and how to use all the different features and functions on this machine. So if you have any questions, please leave me a comment down in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer it. So as always, have a happy creative day. Bye now.